my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. I can't.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Suburban Proletarian. I want to do one more quick watch video while I'm on vacation. Still here in Maine. Still have the lake reflected in the window behind me. But the watch I want to take a look at, this is one that I unboxed earlier this year. This is the only new watch in my collection that I didn't pay for myself, however. So I believe YouTube at least requires me to disclose if I am producing sponsored content. And technically, I would say that this was sponsored content because I was contacted by Infantry Watch Company. They told me that they liked my videos and wanted to know if I would take a look at a watch that they were producing. And particularly, this is a camper style watch. It's from Infantry's sub-brand MDC, which I believe stands for Momentary Design Concepts. And I did take a look at it when we took it out of the package, but I haven't had a chance to review it. I haven't worn this watch a lot because I've had a bunch of other new watches to be wearing. But this is basically the definition of a beater watch. This thing, I think, costs $22. It's available exclusively through Amazon, and I will post a link to the Amazon listing for this watch down below so that you can see what its current price is. But I was almost inclined to decline when they asked me if I wanted to have one of their watches sent to me so I could take a look at it, because frankly I thought it was going to be a piece of junk. And it really has turned out to not be a piece of junk. So I haven't worn it a lot, but I have been wearing it when I was doing stuff that I didn't really want to wear even my other rugged duty watches for. You know, if I was really going to run the risk of smashing the watch or messing it up and having it broken, I'd rather do it with a watch that I didn't pay anything for. And in all honesty, this watch has exceeded all of my expectations for it. I thought it was going to be a cheap pot metal piece of crap, and to be sure, it is an economy watch, but it's a lot nicer than I thought it was going to be when they offered to send it to me. So I don't really have an awful lot to say about it because there's really not a whole lot to say. It's a pretty basic watch. But let's turn it around, turn the camera around onto the tabletop and take a closer look at this MDC watch so that I can, well, at least give you my thoughts on it and let you see how it's been holding up. It looks pretty much just as it did when it came out of the package. And I have been sort of wearing this watch when I was gardening and things like that. So let's take a closer look at it and I'll give you my thoughts. Alright folks, so here is our little MDC watch. I'm going to keep this fairly short and fairly sweet because this is a very simple watch and I don't really know an awful lot about it other than it's made by Infantry Watch Company, whom I'd never heard of until they contacted me and asked me if I'd like to check out one of their watches, and I'm very grateful for that, by the way. It's basically a little military style or camper style watch. We've got 12-hour time, we've got 24-hour time. We've got a nice red second hand, which doesn't exactly hit all the indices right on, but it comes pretty close. And I mean, for $22, I would say that was pretty good. It does have a fully luminous dial, as I showed in the last video. Let's see if I can show that glowing at all there. Yeah, you can see the lume a little bit here, but I don't have a dark closet to go into at the moment. I don't know the exact model number of this either. I will throw that up down below if I haven't already done so. I'm out in the middle of the wilderness, so I don't really have access to the internet to check what the model number of this is on Amazon. Mineral glass crystal. So far, I've had this watch about 5 months or so, and I've worn it a fair amount, mostly to do sort of dirty jobs like gardening and whatnot. And I don't have any scratches yet in the glass crystal, but nothing too terribly premium there. When I first looked at the specs of this watch on Amazon, I thought they did say that it was stainless steel, but I got the impression that this was a plated base metal case. It is certainly plated. It seems to be PVD plated in a sort of gray titanium color. Not sure what that plating would be. Maybe titanium carbon nitride or something like that, which would come out kind of gray. But it's definitely stainless steel. If you look carefully at the back of the watch, this is not a raw casting or something. This is definitely a machined piece of stainless steel. It's on a NATO strap. That's what came on the watch. Seems to be fairly robust. The buckle looks to be decent quality. I've been wearing it a bit, and the holes where the prong for the buckle go through haven't gotten stretched out or anything. I mean, fairly decent. When you figure that the watch costs $22 and a decent NATO will usually cost you about $15, that makes the price of the watch even more attractive. Take it off the NATO. It's on regular spring bars. These do look like they're detachable, but it might be a little bit difficult to get them out. I don't see immediately how you would retract the spring. It's definitely a spring bar, though. How you would retract the spring pins on the end. If I were replacing this with a different type of strap that required traditional spring bars, I would probably just take a wire dikes and cut these and replace them with the new spring bars. Most replacement bands come with spring bars. The back of the watch is pretty straightforward. I can't believe I didn't peel this protective plastic off already. Let's do that. And I'll wipe some of the schmutz off of there. And so there you have it. Clearly just a press-on stainless steel case back. Nothing wrong with that. And it just says momentary design concept by Infantry. No more pertinent information on the case back. Water resistance of 50 meters. Luminous, as we've already gone over. So I guess I don't really have an awful lot else to say about the watch. I have been wearing it a bit. The plating seems to be holding up. I don't have any scratches or anything on the watch. Just seems like a good, solid watch. It has gotten knocked around a little bit. It's continuing to run. It didn't cost me a thing, and if you want to buy one of these, it's not going to cost you very much, about $22. I don't think you could get a better watch than this for $22, or even if it's going up to $25 or something now, I think it would still represent a pretty good bargain. So I guess that's all I have to say about it. Let's go wrap this up. So I'm up here in the middle of nowhere with no internet connection, so I can't really check and see what the current price for this watch is on Amazon. But when I got it about 6 months ago, I think this watch was selling for about $22, which was about 50% of what a Timex Expedition would cost you. And in all honesty, I would say that this MDC camper style watch is at least as nice as a Timex Expedition. It's definitely meant to emulate that style of watch. Very basic. Maybe you could describe it as a military field watch. I would call it a camp watch. It's got 12-hour time. It's got 24-hour time. And that's about it. There's no date window or anything like that. Very basic quartz movement. It does have this luminous dial, which I don't think I could get it dark enough here to show you how brightly lumed this is, but this thing really does glow in the dark because the entire dial is luminous. As a matter of fact, it's glowing a little bit right now. I don't know if that'll pick up on the camera here on the porch or not, but I have been extremely impressed with this watch. I wish I had more to say about it, but it's basically just a really basic watch. NATO straps, not normally my favorite, but they suit this watch very well. This particular NATO seems to be quite good. I guess I don't have a whole lot else to say about this watch other than I don't see how you could go wrong at $22. If you're just looking at a thing to strap on your wrist to tell you what time it is, and something that you can wear, maybe going out in the boat, doing a little fishing, doing some camping, this watch seems just about perfect. So, it's not a Seiko 5. There are other, field watches or camp watches that are a slight step up from this, but all in all, I'm pretty impressed. And I never heard of Infantry before, but I will definitely be keeping an eye on them in the future. And we'll see. Who knows? Maybe another Infantry watch will appear on the channel in the future. If it does, I hope to see each of you here then. Later, guys.